Thank you all for joining the conference call today. We are now starting the CMIC Holdings financial results presentation meeting of CMIC Holdings for the fiscal year ending September 30, 2020. Now I'd like to introduce our participants today: CEO Kazuo Nakamura, COO Keiko Oishi, and CFO Wataru Mochizuki. Today, CFO Wataru Mochizuki will first speak about the financial results for this fiscal year. COO Keiko Oishi will then speak about the business updates, and CEO Kazuo Nakamura will speak about our healthcare initiatives, followed by the Q&A session. We are scheduled to end this meeting at 11 a.m. The video recording of this call will later be posted on CMIC's IR webpage and available to view on demand. Now our CFO Wataru Mochizuki will explain the financial results overview for fiscal year 2020. My name is Wataru Mochizuki, and I'd like to go over our financial results for fiscal year 2020. CMIC Group is promoting our unique business model, PVC, or Pharmaceutical Value Creator, over 5 business areas. As indicated by the diagram, we comprehensively support the value chain of pharmaceutical companies from drug discovery, development, manufacturing to sales and marketing. In addition, we also provide a platform-type pharmaceutical business, IPM, or Innovative Pharma model, providing new business solutions to pharmaceutical companies that combine value chains and marketing authorization licenses possessed by our group and the healthcare business to increase individual health values. Our group consists of a total of 48 facilities in Japan, including 4 manufacturing factories and 6 R&D centers, in addition to 13 overseas facilities in Asia and the US, including 2 manufacturing factories and 1 R&D center. Please take a look at this table for our business segments and group companies as of the end of September 2020. Our group consists of total 25 companies that include CMIC Holdings, a holding company, 23 consolidated subsidiaries, including 12 overseas affiliates, and 1 equity method affiliated company. Here is a summary for the fiscal year ending September 30, 2020. To achieve sustainable growth and the corporate value improvement in the healthcare and the pharmaceutical industry at this time of change, CMIC's midterm business plan starting in the fiscal year 2019 includes focus activity items such as acceleration of PVC model, expansion of globalization, and the creation of healthcare business. We are implementing various group-wide measures to execute such activities to achieve the midterm plan. We started the Healthcare Revolution project in July 2020 to create new businesses that will contribute to maintaining and improving personal healthcare and utilizing our talents in the healthcare arena. Our CEO, Kazuo Nakamura, will explain this in detail later. For our shareholders, we have decided to introduce a shareholder benefit program. Next, I will explain our focus activities in each business unit. In the CRO business, we are pursuing initiatives in fields where clinical trials are expected to become more efficient, such as virtual clinical trials and the utilization of Harmo and the real-world data. We are also enhancing post-marketing clinical studies and surveillance. In the CDMO business, we have enhanced our sales activities, focusing on the new parenteral drug manufacturing building in Ashikaga and 1 large-scale project. In the US, we acquired a new manufacturing plants to expand our manufacturing capabilities. In the CSO business, we are providing comprehensive solutions, combining multiple communication channels and various services, while continuing to train MRs and expand services in the medical affairs field. In the healthcare business, we have integrated SMO and healthcare service subsidiaries to provide new healthcare services. In the Harmo business, we have made a substantial progress from the previous fiscal year, including the service expansion to over 1 million users through collaboration with partner companies and the initiation of joint research with Keio University on the use of Harmo. In the IPM business, we are steadily responding to an increase in cases for overseas pharmaceutical companies entering the Japanese market. Orphan Pacific's Sakigake designated hereditary angioedema treatment, Berolutrastat, was approved on October 30, 2020 by a key health ministry panel, which is a very good example of IPM project, further evolving our unique PVC model. This is a summary of consolidated income statement. Sales in the fiscal year 2020 was 76,098 million yen. On the other hand, operating income was 2,605 million yen. Ordinary income was 2,867 million yen. Current profits attributable to owners of parents for the current fiscal year was 1,505 million yen. Earnings per share was 83.27 yen. For non-operating income, we recorded 555 million yen of share of profit of entities accounted for using equity method. And for non-operating expenses, we recorded 293 million yen of interest expense and foreign exchange losses and other. For extraordinary income, we recorded 103 million yen of gain on sales of shares of subsidiaries and insurance claim income and others. As for extraordinary losses, we recorded 1,013 million yen of impairment loss, loss on retirement of non-current assets, and others. 792 million yen was recorded as total income taxes, and 341 million yen was listed as loss attributable to non-controlling interests. Impairment loss of 736 million yen was recorded following the decision by our US CDMO to launch a new manufacturing facility, relocate from the current facility, and discontinue the current production. This table indicates sales and operating income by segment. Overall sales in the fiscal year 2020 was driven by the CDMO and CSO business growth. However, operating income was below last year's figure, mainly due to decrease in profits of CRO despite the increase in CSO business. This table indicates orders received and backlog. Orders received for CSO business decreased due to the impact of some large-scale projects we had in the same quarter of the previous year. Orders for other businesses are on a recovery trend. This indicates the trend in consolidated sales and operating income during the third quarter. We achieved an increase in overall sales, but operating income decreased for the fiscal year and the operating margin was 3.4%. This is about the CRO business. Sales were below the same period last year due to the cancellation and postponements of existing projects in clinical services following the global pandemic of COVID-19. Operating income was also below the same period last year, impacted by reduced operation rates. On the other hand, non-clinical services such as bioanalysis, quality assurance tests, and safety tests have been firm, and sales and operating income increased. Sales for this term was 34,242 million yen, operating income was 5,052 million yen, and operating margin was 14.8%. This is about the CDMO business. Sales and operating income exceeded the same period last year thanks to increased contract volume in Japan and the sales contribution by Nishine factory, despite the reduction of contract volume in the US. Operating income was below last year level due to the significant impact of reduced sales in the US. Sales of CDMO business increased to 20,832 million yen, and operating loss was 412 million yen. This is about the CSO business. Sales and operating income exceeded the same period last year thanks to the steady progress in MR dispatch projects acquired in the previous period, and the operational rates maintained at the high level. CSO sales increased to 8,626 million yen, operating income was 834 million yen, and the operating margin was 9.7%. This is about the healthcare business. Sales were below the corresponding period last year, despite growth in healthcare services due to reduction in work volume for SMO and staffing services due to COVID-19. Operating income was below the same period last year, impacted by reduced sales of staffing services and prior investment costs to create new healthcare business models. Healthcare sales was 9,903 million yen, operating income was 583 million yen, and the operating margin was 5.9%. This is the IPM business. The IPM business provides new business solutions to pharmaceutical companies that combine value chains and marketing authorization licenses possessed by our group. In this fiscal year, we are selling orphan drugs, including products developed in-house. Further, we are strengthening business foundation through provision of IPM platform, such as supporting foreign companies entering the Japanese market with strategic options. Though sales were the same level as the previous year due to an increase in sales of some products, operating surplus was recorded due to the effect of cost reduction. IPM sales was 3,395 million yen. Operating income was 169 million yen. Next, I'd like to explain about our consolidated balance sheet. Total assets at the end of the current fiscal year increased to 89,517 million yen because of increased tangible fixed assets of CDMO business and investment securities. Capital investment for the financial period is 9,063 million yen, depreciation 4,529 million yen, and amortization of goodwill 159 million yen. Total liabilities increased by 8,320 million yen year-on-year to 55,506 million yen. Most of the above is attributable to increase in borrowings from financial institutions anticipating the impact of COVID-19. For our overseas consolidated subsidiaries, to which IFRS or US GAAP are applied, due to the impact of adopting IFRS 16 and other standards starting from this fiscal year, the balance of lease assets and lease liabilities are increasing. Total net assets increased by 1,017 million yen year-on-year to 34,011 million yen. This is mainly due to increase in retained earnings. Cash flow from operating activities was 6,703 million yen in revenue. This was mainly due to proceeds from profit before income taxes and depreciation, and a decline in cash flow from income taxes paid. Cash flow from investing activities was 8,542 million yen in expenditure. This was mainly due to purchase of tangible fixed assets of CDMO business. Cash flow from financing activities was 2,354 million yen in revenue. This was mainly due to borrowings from financial institutions and cash dividends paid. As a result, the cash and cash equivalents as of the end of September 2020 was 12.688 billion yen. Next, I will explain about the full-year earnings forecast for the fiscal year ending September 2021. Our fiscal year 2021 performance forecast for sales is expected to be 80 billion yen or 5.1% increase. Operating income is expected to be 3.3 billion yen or 26.6% increase. Ordinary income is expected to be 3.1 billion yen or 8.1% increase. And the profits attributable to owners of parents is expected to be 1.65 billion yen or 9.6% increase. Earnings per share is expected to be 91.21 yen. This indicates the sales and operating income forecast by segments for fiscal year ending September 2021. For the CRO business, sales and operating income growth is expected due to increase in clinical research and post-marketing surveillance, steady performance in clinical trials, and a strong order intake for non-clinical operations. For the CDMO business, sales and operating income are expected to increase due to the increase of contract manufacturing volume in Japan, despite the upfront investment costs for the contract manufacturing of biopharmaceutical API that started in July 2020. For the CSO business, sales figures are expected to be at the same level as this fiscal year. Operating income is expected to go down in the next fiscal year, assuming that we will return to normal activities. For the healthcare business, despite the upfront investment required for new businesses, thanks to the increased number of clinical researchers for SMO operations, steady performance in clinical trials, and growth in new business, we expect an increase in both sales and operating income. For the IPM business, sales figures are expected to be at the same level as this fiscal year, but operating income is expected to go down due to promotion of R&D activities for orphan drugs. My name is Keiko Oishi, and I will explain the recent business updates. We are implementing 3 focus activities of the midterm plan, such as acceleration of the PVC model, expansion of globalization, and creation of healthcare business. We were aiming to achieve the sales target of 85.5 billion yen and an operating income target of 6.8 billion yen in the fiscal year ending in September 2021. However, our current forecast predicts that we will fall behind the midterm plan in the fiscal year ending in September 2021. We are likely to fall short by 5.5 billion for sales and 3.5 billion for operating income. The midterm plan aims to steadily grow the CRO business, improve the profitability of CDMO business, and turn the IPM business into profitable. At the same time, the plan calls for taking on the challenge of launching a new healthcare business. Reasons why we are falling behind can be attributed to change of drug pricing and approval policy, including the introduction of annual drug price revisions. Other reasons include a change of clinical trial environments, as well as change in drug development trend. Furthermore, the expansion of the new corona infectious disease, which began in early 2020, has had a major impact on our business activities. Following the outbreak of COVID-19, we had no choice but to suspend or reduce business activities temporarily, including restriction on hospital visits, postponement and discontinuation of numerous developmental projects both at home and abroad. Still, The number of business inquiries is starting to recover with COVID-19 treatment drug development and postponed projects. As a result, order received of CRO and SMO is in recovery. CMIC was involved with Avigan trials, which reminded our employees of the importance of contributing to the society, and we consider it a valuable experience. In the production of Avigan, we believe that it is the valuable achievement that we have been able to supply product with a drastically shortened startup period, such as completing a 10-day period, which usually takes about 3 months. Some medical institutions still have visit restrictions, and the impact of COVID-19 is expected to continue into 2021. However, in the second quarter, we may also foresee a trend of recovery to some extent. Now I will explain about our efforts to restore performance. Our group is committed to maximizing the speed of market access. The needs of pharmaceutical companies and other clients are to shorten the development period, obtain early approval, and maximize benefits, efficiency of the different processes of development, and the shortest possible introduction to the market. We believe that it is possible for us to support clinical trials from non-clinical, as well as support using our group's business model to provide a pharmaceutical development and analytical services. Now I will explain about the future activities of our main businesses. This is a CRO business. As a CRO with a consistent breakthrough system from non-clinical trials to post-marketing, we will also pursue maximizing the speed. By utilizing data accumulated as a CRO pioneer and networks with medical institutions, we will increase the speed of patient accrual, leading to a shorter development period. In addition, as already announced by press release, we are promoting the conduct of clinical trials using digital technologies, including virtual clinical trials with online doctor consultation and efficient clinical trial process management using Harmo for new normal. We have specific projects that are ongoing as well. Next, we have established CRO local affiliates in Australia, a growing market for drugs and medical devices, and Thailand in Southeast Asia. We will accelerate area expansion. Going forward, we will actively pursue alliances and partnerships, including those in other industries, both domestically and overseas. Though CRO business was facing the downsizing phase in 2020 impacted by COVID-19, we will expand it again by providing the services that are meeting the needs of our clients. Next, I will speak about our CDMO business. We are starting to see the recovery despite taking time to monetize. The new parenteral building in Ashikaga, one of the factors that are squeezing margins, has won a large-scale project in the fiscal year ending in September 2020. The decision was made to start production in the fiscal year ending in September 2022, and the full-scale production is scheduled to launch in the fiscal year ending in September 2023. In addition, since other domestic plants have also won multiple large-scale projects, we are expecting the expansion of operations through steady launch of such projects. On the other hand, in abroad as well, we are capturing the outbound demand of the Japanese companies entering the overseas market, and we are scheduled to start production in a new manufacturing facility in the US. In Korea, we will further supply product to Asia, aiming to grow as a CDMO, supplying both domestic and overseas. This is the healthcare business. We are focusing on launching a new healthcare business centered on Harmo. Utilizing the functions of Harmo, we provide services to improve medication adherence and provide medical and health-related information. In addition, We are utilizing the PHR, or Personal Health Record Medical Information Linkage System, to centrally manage information related to personal health. Currently, both are in the process of building infrastructure, and we are aiming to achieve profitability at an early stage. With this, I will conclude my presentation on business updates. I am Kazuo Nakamura, CEO of CMIC Holdings. I'd like to explain about healthcare revolution. First, this indicates the history and the progress. Our Project Phoenix started in October 2014. In Project Phoenix 1.0 that lasted for 2 years from October 2014 to March 2016, we created our corporate philosophy, or CMIC Creed, in an effort to establish corporate culture. It made a huge difference because it was intended to establish corporate culture focusing on ikigai, or a reason to live by being yourself, and well-being, which has gained a currency of late, rather than focusing on the treatment of disease. We also worked on work style reform, or work-life balance. We started to allow employees to be free to change desk in the office, envisioning that we also allow them to work from home. In Phoenix 2.0 from April 2016 to March 2018, which focused on agile or speedy management, we engaged in organizational realignment and talent development. We also started to provide solutions using PVC or pharmaceutical value creator capabilities, as well as providing the innovative Pharma model platform. In Phoenix 3.0 from April 2018 to June 2020, we initiated Healthcare Revolution 1.0, where we are looking at what we could do in communities in terms of medicine, nursing care, or ordinary care. This is how we started off our Harmo business, or personalized healthcare e-system. In July 2020, taking the COVID-19 impact into consideration, we kicked off Healthcare Revolution 2.0. One of the final deliverables of Healthcare Revolution 2.0 is to transform the pharmaceutical company's model from the traditional pharma model to innovative healthcare pharma model. It might be difficult for pharmaceutical companies to achieve sustainable business unless they stand from a healthcare perspective. This is where Harmo comes into play. Harmo can help a pharmaceutical company to facilitate a value chain and a supply chain revolution, as well as to maximize the speed of market access. This is the first focus. The second focus is on medical system or healthcare system revolution. Based on CMIC's creed, when it comes to patient-centered medicine involving pharmaceutical companies, hospitals, clinics, doctors, and patients, we can propose launching healthcare station combined with data usage. More specifically, healthcare station can be incorporated into pharmacies, where they not only dispense but also provide a healthcare consultation, and the proof of concept project is ongoing. The last focus is internal one, focusing on the creation of talent value in the healthcare business, developing all talents to be healthcare professionals. Here are updates regarding Harmo. Harmo has been known and used as a drug history handbook, but indeed, it is a personalized healthcare e-system. In other words, Harmo enables us to not only keep personal health records, but also to communicate information to individuals and collect information from individuals, which is great technology with patentability. Currently, there are more than 400,000 Harmo users, and its customer base for information distribution is expanding to 1 million through collaboration with other personalized healthcare e-system used by pharmacies. Also, 92.1% of pharmacies in Shiga prefecture use Harmo. A large-scale pharmacy has also entered the Shiga market, and they have their own personalized healthcare e-system. With that said, Harmo can also be utilized by their customers when they scan the QR code through Harmo. We are trying to make Harmo the de facto standard personalized healthcare e-system in Japan, and this is one of the achievements so far. This is a project designated by the Tokyo Metropolitan Government, which is business to establish the next generation wellness solution. This is a feasibility study where Harmo is used to increase drug adherence by communicating information. More specifically, the project is intended to increase drug compliance by communicating to patients on the anticoagulant various information, including the reason why they should take the medication. Also, Harmo provides COVID-19 related information, including information from Prime Minister's Office, Ministry of Health, Labor and Welfare, Japan Tourism Agency, and the Ministry of Justice. In this way, Harmo is not just a drug history handbook, but is capable of providing information. We also have a social experiment for vaccine management system using the Harmo functionality. Infants are expected to receive many types of vaccinations at a certain timing. However, there are quite a few of mistakes when they go through vaccinations, and also they miss vaccinations. Harmo can be used to manage vaccinations using individualized data. As described here, a patient can check your own vaccination status by touching his or her ID card onto the medical institution's tablet terminal. In this way, it is possible to check when to go through the vaccination and how much. On the other hand, you can check the vaccination per se by scanning the barcode on the box of the vaccine. The system works this way to avoid mistakes. Harmo can be utilized as a countermeasure to avoid mistakes in vaccinations. It can reduce 50 to 70% of such mistakes in our assumption. There are various mistakes, such as mistakes in vaccinations to be injected, mistakes in interval, and mistakes in expiry date. In order to address those issues, the vaccination management system was included in Harmo. The actual social experiment is ongoing in Kawasaki City, Kanagawa Prefecture. This is a social experiment in partnership with Keio University, where 29 medical institutions are participating, targeting infants living in Kawasaki City who have not been vaccinated. The project started on June 1st, 2020, continuing until March 31st, 2023. Then what can be achieved with Harmo? As I said earlier, basically, Harmo can keep personal information, or more specifically, healthcare information. In addition, Harmo can communicate information to individuals and also collect information from individuals. In other words, for individuals, Harmo can manage adherence and health data, for example, medication reminders, as well as collect health information from them. For pharmacies, Harmo can expand the business scope. For instance, cell check is a good example. Also, Harmo enables pharmacies to improve operational efficiency and centralize medication information through life cycle management. For pharmaceutical companies, they can use Harmo for the purposes of utilization of data, adherence, and marketing, including PMS. For local governments, Harmo can be used to optimize medical and nursing care costs, manage vaccinations, and also innovate the healthcare system in the total landscape where various activities are ongoing in each area. This is our 2005 proposal model. CMIC is the first CRO in Japan, and back then, We were an organization that was good at drug development, the business which was a curve out of a pharmaceutical company's work. And in 2005, when Pharmaceutical Affairs Law was amended, we started off manufacturing. The concept created at the time is Pharmaceutical Value Creator, which considers CMIC as a professional organization that provides the support for pharmaceutical companies from development to manufacturing to marketing and thus contributing their evolution. At that time, the concept of healthcare value creator was already shared, whereas the next business step, CMIC aims to be a professional organization that contributes to medicine in the new era or patient-centered medicine, as well as develops the prophylaxis and treatments of diseases, though we were not clear when the concept would be initiated. We proposed individual health value as part of the concept. This is how we have progressed. That is all about our healthcare business. Thank you.